Hi, and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Nadine, and today I'm going to show you how to make Greek hummus. Little background in this story, this recipe. My sister-in-law, who is Greek, her father, who I used to call Papu, uh, showed me how to make this recipe, and it's a tradition in their family to make it. With this recipe, you can put this on anything. I can put it on rice, I can put it on beans, I can put it on chicken, steak, burgers, french fries as a dip, potato chips, basically on anything. Even in chili, I've put it in. And it's so good and it's so healthy for you. At the same time, it fights cancer, so you can't go wrong with it. However, the side effects, bad garlic breath. Depending on how strong you want it, you're gonna need a lot of let me see, mouthwash, Listerine. I use coffee grounds to kill the taste of my mouth, but sometimes coffee breath is not good either. So my recommendation is go medium, as in the spiciness of the garlic that you want. But if not, go for broke. Go as strong as you can. Now, today in the recipe, we're going to go and have these ingredients. If we can go right here. So we're going to have walnuts. Okay? A little will do you. You don't need to put too much. Lemon juice. You can use the real stuff or just buy it in a bottle. Preferably, it's better if you get it fresh, but I didn't have time to get some, so then can of chickpeas. I've got the big one, but you can use always a small one if you want to do a small portion. I get mine from Goya, but La Preferia or anybody that sells chickpeas, go for it. Whole wheat bread is a must. You only need maybe a slice or two, so it's not really that much of a big deal if you get like a small portion of bread. And of course, garlic. Tons of garlic. I'm using about 1.5 cloves, but or heads of cloves, or whatever you want to call them. Depending on how you want it, you can get more, if not less, or happy medium. Now, the other thing that I wanted to say is be careful, because the other ingredient is peanut oil. Now, I'm not using peanut oil now because one, I don't have any, but two, I do have this for friends, and some of them do have peanut, allergies. So I usually put canola oil, but not too much. Just enough where you have a little bit of texture, because you want it to be creamy. You don't want it to be dry, and you don't want it to be too runny. So here we go, putting it together. Okay, so this is what you're gonna do. Since this recipe is kind of thick when it comes to like the bread and the chickpeas and the walnuts and everything, so what I do is I don't have a food processor, so I use a blender. So you have to be very, very careful, because if you put all the ingredients all at one time, it can burn out your motor if you put it in a blender, if it's your last resort and you don't have a food processor. So what I like to do is do it a little at a time. So right now I'm going to go and put all my garlic. Now I have used this recipe with the garlic, and I had a container, I kid you not, of this tall, this wide, full of cut fresh garlic, and put the whole thing in there, and it is boom, like strong. But it's good, for me. I liked it, but I'm going to do a happy medium, like I said. And then the peas or beans, chickpeas, there you go. You want them drained already. You don't want to rinse them off completely. Just drain the juice that's in here, and that's it. So you want to put all of it in there, and as you can see, it's already filling up. So instead of putting the bread in and the walnuts in first or next, you want to put a little bit of oil. And like I said, I put, canola oil. So I put about maybe half a cup. Not too much. And then, of course, with the juice, if I can open it up, because this is a brand new bottle. There you go. I'm going to put maybe a half a cup as well of the lemon juice, because you want that tang. Now, I've seen like a lot of nationalities have the hummus, and you can taste it, just the chickpeas. It's not like, it's dry. It doesn't have that, zest. hence the lemon juice. Like I said, fresh is always better when you're making hummus, but since that's all I can have right now or get, that's what we're going to do for now. So I'm going to plug this baby in. We want to put it on low for right now, because like I said, there's a lot of thickness to it, and we want to put it on high. As you see, it's already struggling a little bit. So if it does that, which it's more than likely going to happen, you don't want to overburn it. You don't want to mess up your blender. So when that happens, you want to put a little bit more of the oil. A little bit more. And a little bit more of the lemon juice. It's okay to add these liquids a little bit more when you're running on dry, just because it's fine. It's not going to like overkill the taste of the hummus. It's just going to blend it in, believe me. So we're going to put it on high again. And again, it's still a little dry. You know, you see the liquid in there, but it's more of a paste from the chickpeas. So instead of putting more oil, I'm going to put some more lemon juice. Maybe I'll put a little bit more oil. And that's the whole reason why you put canola oil instead of like cooking oil or corn oil, because that's not like a good fat oil. Canola is, so that's why I do it. There we go. So when you see it swirling in the middle, that's when you know that all the ingredients are done. I mean, common sense, but some people don't really know how to use a blender either. So when you see the contents in the middle swirling, it's ready to be adding more stuff. So on to our walnuts. And I'm doing this like live, as in like how I'm doing it. It's how you're going to deal with it. It's not like 1, 2, 3, it's done. This is a lot of work when it comes to this, because it's kind of thick, and people think that just because you put it in the blender and a food processor, oh, it's no problem. Well, that's the magic of TV and internet and editing. But I'm showing to you in real life time. So how much I put in the walnuts is totally up to you. I put maybe less than ½ a cup, depending on how you want it. You don't want it too thick, so less than ½ a cup will do you. Maybe a handful, just fine. And as you can see, it's still struggling a little bit. And that's why when I go and I do this, I do a little time of the lemon juice and the oil, just because you don't want to put too much too fast, because then it's going to be too oily or too lemony. So, like I said, consistency is the key. I say this from pure experience. Since I'm at this point, we're going to put and add the last ingredient, which is whole wheat bread. Now, I've had people put regular, like, Wonder Bread slice of it, and that's fine. But whole wheat bread is also better for you. And let's face it, we're putting oil in here, and, you know, just that alone is not really that healthy. So you want to put, like, the freshest and the healthiest ingredients in here. Do not put any salt. Do not put any sugar. Do not put any yogurt. I've seen this with yogurt. And, you know, in some recipes, it can be fine like that. But in this recipe, you don't want to do that. So I just put in a slice of whole wheat bread. That's all you need. And use on high again. And sometimes when it struggles like this, instead of you putting more of the liquid, I know I left you there with a mid-sentence, but what I do when I get struggled like this, and like I said, this happens to the best of us, you get a spoon, and of course, you just push down a little bit because the liquids are rising and the thickness is lowering. So you want to go and mix that in. It's tempting. It's like chocolate batter to me, you know. It's just like, strong. So now that that's done, there we go. And is it working? Sorry about that. And it's still struggling a little bit, but that, like I said, that's just fine. This is how the recipe is. And when you don't have a food processor, this is what you're going to be dealing with in real time. The constant struggle. And that's fine, you know, because this is how it goes. It's not 1, 2, 3. It should be going on a little bit. But if not, since, I don't know if you can see it from the thing, you see the liquid on the top? That's because it's not going down because of the, you know, the thickness of it. So you're going to try your spoon again. Put that stuff and try to push as much as you can in the bottom so that way the blender or the blades can take. Gosh, it's so tempting. I honestly, literally, I take a fresh slice of the whole wheat bread, toast it, or Italian bread, or French bread, or a pita, and I would toast it, and I'll just put a little bit of this, like butter, put it on the toast. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. So here we go, hopefully for the last time. I am working, if you can hear it. Now it's getting better. And as you can see, it's starting. Like I said, consistency is the key. It's loosening up on the bottom, so that's a good thing. You don't want to leave the blender on too long because, like I said, you'll overheat the blender and probably burn the motor. And then you don't want to spend another $30 or $50 or $100 on a new blender, you know? Right now, the liquid's rising to the top, which is a good thing because you pushed it all into the bottom. And now it's starting to swirl a little bit. When it starts to swirl, that's when you know that you're done processing all the ingredients in there. And that's what you want to look for. Because if you put this in a container and you serve it to your guests or give it to yourself, you don't want the garlic on the bottom and the liquids on the top. You want a good consistency. And I know I use that word a lot during this video, but that's what you're looking for, consistency. You know, it's just like yogurt. Most yogurts, when they have like the flavoring, like strawberries, they always have it on the bottom and then the white yogurt on the top. You don't want to just eat the white yogurt. You want to mix that thing up, you know? So right now I'm going to stop it because it's working. Working better than last time, but you want to give it one final push, hopefully.